And I can add that
sorry, go ahead.
In 1981, when he was born, he had a really difficult birth because he was born premature, but only God knew that he needed to come that early because he had a cyst on his kidney that was growing. And he was born footling breech, and they pulled on him quickly, life-saving measures, delivered and broke his clavicle. And that stomach that was so enlarged, had the cyst on it, on a kidney, had to be removed, and then his body crashed 3 days later, and his heart failed, his lungs collapsed, and his kidney just didn't function anymore. So that led to cerebral palsy, hearing impairment, and a kidney disease that eventually had a kidney transplant when he was a teenager.
You two must have just been terrified. You know, this is your firstborn child, and certainly I know you weren't expecting, these challenges and such. And obviously, God's love and your obedience and following His guidance got you through that.
Yes.
I tell you that it was a shock to our system because we were like any other young couple, 22 years old, excited for our firstborn, and then to have this take place, we walked around in shock for weeks, months, and probably years trying to recover from it. But we always had God, always had God as a base. And when he was 1 week old, the doctors told us, you know what, he's so bad a shape, we can help you let him die if you want. And then you can start over again. They were giving him life-saving measures, and he was intubated. He just didn't have a good prognosis. And so, the recommendations from others are not always life-giving, even when they're doctors.
No.
So convenience doesn't define happiness, and we found that out. That when we chose to surrender Jacob to Jesus, he returned him to us, and he performed miracles. He turned his EEGs from severely abnormal to normal. And then from that day forward, when we got to bring him home, every day was a treasure of seeing life. And Jacob had to choose life as well. He began to choose to see the things that made him happy and eventually became full of joy.